What's up, everybody? Happy New Year's. Welcome back to Suki Pixels. So, today I will be showing you how I achieve this edit. It's coming up. Yep, this edit. And first, I'm going to show you how I took her head photos because I see some people are a little confused. So, you want to have a bald hairstyle. I have to search mine because I have a lot of hairstyles in my inventory. So you get the bald hairstyle and you just you also get the facial expressions. I messed up. I put an eye. I meant to put face, but yeah, you buy a pack of facial expressions in the shop in the accessories part. All you have to do is search facial expressions. You may not be able to find the ones I have, but majority of them will have your avatar look left and right. So I'm just taking pictures of her head, and the photo I'm doing is a side. It's like her head is going to be shown from the side, and I was having a little bit of difficulties with with her eyes steady blinking. It's this avatar she got on, but yeah. So when you're taking a picture, you want to make sure that your avatar's head fits the perspective of the model, especially if you're about to do a morph. You want to make sure that head fits the perspective. Excuse my son coughing, he's sick right now. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just taking pictures of her head without the background. I took a few pictures. I took front and both sides. As you can see, I started off really close, and sometimes when you start off really close to the avatar's head, you don't get the right perspective because everything is almost like the camera is like looking down almost. I hate that NEWV does that. So what you want to do is you just want to like zoom out. And if you don't get a super 100% clear picture of your avatar's face, it's totally fine, especially if you want to edit it. So yeah, just perspective. Perspective is really a mind thing, I want to say. So you just want to make sure that in your head it matches the perspective of the model's head when you're doing a morph, because the picture can be too close, it could be too up, too low. So it's okay if you get, some of your chest or anything in the photo. It's totally fine. So now I have pulled my picture into into IBIS Paint. That's the name of the editing software I use. I see a lot of people asking me that question. This is IBIS Paint. Sorry if I didn't say it before, but I pulled it into IBIS Paint and I'm just chopping out the bottom of her body just to get the head. I'm just putting the head on the body, and I'm trying to get it as perfect as I can. And in my head, like when I zoomed out, I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect. And I left it just like that. So after that, I'm gonna start on the lines, the guides. I use the felt tip pen, and I always have it on 1.2 for precision. So yeah, I'm gonna speed this part up, but I'm just gonna outline her body, the parts that I feel that I need, like the arms, the hands, the feet, all that stuff. This took a while, so I sped it up. So now I'm adding another layer beneath that, and I'm going to start on the base of her skin. And I use this soft pen brush, I think. And I just go around her mouth for the base color of her skin, because around the mouth is the area that's not going to be like highlighted or contoured or anything like that. It's going to be the base color of her skin. And I'm just going to go under the lines and, you know, around the body as I see fit with that color to color in, you know, the base of her body. Now I'm going to start on the outfit. I used a lace brush and I used a color pink, and I have my guide on the side. Well, not necessarily my guide, but my inspiration for the outfit on the right side, just to show me, just so I have a somewhere to go back to when I'm thinking about how the outfit's gonna look. So this lace brush is a like print brush, I want to say. Like, it, you don't have to worry about like overdoing it or anything like that. It's like a whole thing. Like, you could cover the whole sheet over and over again, and it's gonna be the same result. So I have to find out what the name of these brushes are. But I just color all over her top to bottom, and I chop out the hands, and I speed that part up because it's a very tedious part. That's the most tedious part of this edit. Honestly, while I was doing it, I was thinking like I should probably just do her a basic outfit, but I think this made it easier to detail the hands. Oh, talking about hands, why on TikTok was somebody going in on the way I drew hands? Like, I don't know. I ain't gonna say it, but well, no, I'm gonna say it. These people on TikTok are new to me. I cuss people out. I cuss people out. I do, and I used to didn't want to let internet stuff get on my nerves, but stop playing in my comments because I cuss people out. I'm a nice person, but yeah, stop playing with me because I really do cuss people out. And yeah, you ask my Instagram people who've been following me for a long time. Yeah, I took it there a few times because people wanted to play with me. So now I'm going in with another layer over that, and I'm going to make it transparent. And I'm going to just do a base pink layer for the transparent part of the tights, because as you see, it's one of those dresses that have like, I don't know if the tights are built into that. They may not be. I don't know. I've never worn one of these for real. But yeah, I'm just doing the transparent part over the tights, and then I'm going to chop her hands and arms out of that one as well. So now I'm just doing a pink airbrush layer over the top of the outfit layer. I also selected the layer that I did that's of transparent, just so I won't have to keep chopping it out. But I took the airbrush brush and I put a pink layer of airbrush over it, and I just colored in like the bottom of the dress, the top of the brush, under the breast, the back, just to give it the same look that the model had in the photo. As you can see, it looks like really thick at the top and at the bottom, and then in the middle it's still lace, like you can see it. But I didn't want it to look too explicit. I wanted the focus to be on like the actual edit this time, because I don't know if y'all seen my other edits, but I am quick to show a lot of skin. So I didn't want to show too much skin in this edit. I just wanted it to be like, oh my god, like this edit is so tea, and you know, that type of vibe. I'm just pulling in my bag accessory. The girl in the original picture, she had her bag under her hand, and I wasn't really messing with this, so I found a little cute shoulder bag online, put it in photo room, and here we are. So first I'm gonna put the bag on her shoulder, and then I'm gonna pull in this cute Hello Kitty keychain. Oh my gosh, I love Hello Kitty, y'all. I swear, if Hello Kitty could live through a person, she'd live through me. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, so I put in this cute Hello Kitty keychain. I pondered for a while on where I wanted to put it on the bag, because it matched the bag really well. And I ended up putting it where people could see it, because I do end up changing my wig twice in this edit. So yeah. I made the bag transparent just to chop my arm out of it. Ooh, that brush was so small. But yeah, I just made it transparent to chop my arm out of it, so it looks like it's on my arm. So now I'm filling in my nails. I found these on Pinterest, and um, I am about to chop the hand part out so I can just have the nails. Um, I prefer the pictures of the hands when the nails are out and there's a background underneath the nails. So that way, excuse me. So that way I can just get to the nails quicker, because when you are chopping out like nails that have like a lot of rhinestones and stuff, it just takes a while. So I always prefer my pictures like with the hands sticking out in a background under it so I can get to the nails quicker. Now it's time to start putting the nails on the fingers. So I usually put the nails that are shown from the side. I put them on the fingers that I like leaning to the side. But if there's none in that set that are no more in that set that are leaning to the side, I would either use the special tool or the transform tool and put it on the perspective mode, just to give it that look like it is, the side of it and whatnot. This nail in particular was a little bit harder to chop out because it had a lot of charms on it, but we still got the job done. Yes, but I don't go by finger either when I put on these nails. I just do them how I do them. Just pick random ones and put them in order on the fingers, but not in order on the actual nails that that were in the photo, if you know what I mean. So now I'm adding a layer and clipping it down to those nails just to make the fingers look more pinkish, more saturated. They looked a little ashy at first, so I just added a little pink to them just to make them look like they're like, made for her skin tone on her skin. Now I'm pulling in this wig. This wig is from my new Christmas collection. I wanted to do a part 2 so bad, y'all, but I had so much going on. Somebody placed a big order and then my back went out on Christmas. Like, Christmas time was so ghetto this year. So I probably will do either like a everybody who sent me hair photos, they will not go unused. I'll probably use them for the Valentine's Day collection or the Black History Month collection. I'm not sure. Oh, and if anybody wants to be in a Valentine's Day collection, just shoot me a message on Instagram. So I'm using the special tool to fix this wig to make it a side part. This is a front facing wig, but I'm trying to make it a side wig. I don't keep this wig on, but I went to the hue and saturation and lightness and I just made it black instead of auburn. So now I am starting on drawing her shoes. I'm going to use the same pink from her dress and I'm just going to outline the shoes that the model has on. I was going to do pumps, but I'm like, I already drew toes, so I might as well just go with the shoe that the model has on. I just made it pink. Everything else is probably going to be the same. But yeah, I'm just going to draw these and detail them. Now I'm about to start on her makeup. So I'm just going to do her a pink cut crease. Sorry if this part is a little delayed, you guys. My boyfriend wanted to show me something on his phone while I was recording it. So yeah, I'm just going to do a pink cut crease, and then I'm going to do pink on the lid, and then like purple and like dark, I want to say like dark fuchsia under the eyes. But yeah, and I'm just, to do this, I just clipped the layer down to her head. That was it. And then to do the colors in the crease, I clipped the layer down to the head as well underneath this layer. And then I just used the blend tool to blend them out. I just pulled in some lashes from the last lash drop I did. Well, no, I'm not even gonna say. I don't think these were a part of the drop. I honestly think these were exclusive. I'm not sure. Yeah, these are exclusive. These were the ones that I made in the last tutorial video. So if you want these, you would have to purchase the last tutorial video, or DM me personally. They're only $1, but they came with the last tutorial video because the last tutorial video showed how to make them. So that's why they're with the last tutorial video. Now I'm prepping the layers to do the skin. I start off with the highlight layer. This is the easiest way to do a morph to me. is to do the light layer, you know, the highlight layer of the skin first, and then do the dark layer underneath it, you know, just to give it definition. So I do 2 different layers on her chest, and then the rest I do on her body. And then after that, I don't think I do her arms yet. I don't do her arms yet, but I just do her torso and her legs and her feet. Now I am just doing the palm highlights on her hand. Um, these, you know how everybody's palm is lighter than the rest of their body, just like the bottom of their feet. So I'm just doing the palm highlights on all the hands, and I'm using the fade. The fade tip pen is really soft, and it's good for strokes that you want to blend out. So I'm doing that on every finger, and then I'm going to use the blend tool, excuse me, to blend it all out. Now I am also doing the highlight on the arms now, but I'm going to do it with a different layer so I can chop it out afterwards so it won't look like the arms are melting into each other. Now I'm about to do the contour layer, and I'm going to grab the darkest color from her face using the eyedropper tool. So, oh, and by the way, excuse me, I just merged all of the highlight layers together, and you saw that. So, but yeah, I'm just doing the contour layer now, and I'm just going under her neck, between the creases of her arms, her her legs, all of that. Excuse me, I am talking too fast. Now I'm just going back into that same layer just to check and make sure I didn't miss anything, like her arm crease. I missed that, so I'm just going back to fix anything I feel like I missed. Now that her body is done, I'm gonna go over over the layer of her tights, her outfit, with a light pink layer, and I'm just gonna add a little shine to them, to her legs and stuff like that, to certain parts of her legs, just to make it look like she actually has on tights. Because if you've ever worn tights before, um, they bounce off of light really easily. So I'm just going over it to make sure that they look realistic. I'm also going to use that light pink color to go over her breast, her thighs, and her butt to give it that shiny, tight look again. Drawing her toenails white, of course, white. Um, and I'm gonna do, I didn't even use a guide for these, but I'm gonna do the toenail a little square, and then I'm gonna come back with the eraser and make them look circular just to make them look more realistic. And now I'm using a filter called Bevel, and I'm just going to give the toenails a shadow with it because I was too lazy to add a layer down to it to make a shadow. But this it does the trick. Now I'm clipping down another layer to the body, and I'm using the airbrush tool to give the laces of the heels some definition on the body. I'm just going under each string and airbrushing it just to give it, a defined look. I'm also gonna go underneath her thigh to give it a more defined look, and I'm gonna go in between the bottom of her legs to give it a more defined look as well. I also go under her hands, I believe. I use the black leg to get the body a defined look for sure. I'm clipping down a black layer of soft light, and I'm going to use the airbrush tool as always, and I'm just going to airbrush and give her body a little more definition. Just because you don't want to use the black normal layer mode to give it, because it's just going to look ashy. So use the soft light, and the soft light will give it the perfect definition that it needs. Now I'm going in with a white layer of add, and I'm really just going back into the same places that I took that light pink. Over her legs, her thighs, on her hands, stuff like that, on her feet, just to give it that definition like she's sitting somewhere that's lighted really well. I also go in with a layer of overlay, because the ad was just a little too bright on her skin today, so I did a layer of overlay on her hands and chest. Now I'm just going back and doing the same thing to the head. Just a layer of add to highlight her cheekbones, her chin, her nose, her inner corners of her eyes. I also go back and add a layer of add to her fingers to give her fingers a little more shine because I just didn't want her fingers to look like they weren't a part of the picture. Now adding a little more definition to these shoes, just to make them look more realistic. I just shade and I chop, shade and I chop. So just to make them look more realistic, you know, the heel is attached to the shoe, but you know, all that good stuff. So my girl is all finished for now. So now we're going to start working on her background. I put in this couch that I found on Google, and I made it black. And then I'm pulling in this background that looks like a balcony. And after I get that situated where I want it, I add a plant as well, just to make the picture look more realistic, like she's actually, next to a couch. Oh no, my bad. I'm ahead of myself. I added a picture of New Year's in downtown Chicago because that's where I'm from. I'm from downtown Chicago. Well, not downtown Chicago, but I'm from Chicago. So I added in that picture, and then I added the plant over it. I don't know if I show where I added in the window texture that I found on Google. I don't know if I showed that or not. But yeah, I added in a window texture as well behind her to make the background, just look more realistic. Then I'm actually gonna change her wig to this wig from, I think this is from my Valentine's Day collection. I'm not sure, but this wig, yeah, I just used a special tool to pull the part up a little bit because I didn't want it sitting on her forehead. Then I fixed her head to fit it, and then I used a special tool as well to just lay the ends down on her body so it wouldn't be sticking out. Now I'm just adding my last few little tweaks to the picture to make it, just look more realistic. I added another normal of layer down to the body and shaded the hair and the purse. And I think that's, no, I also go back and add jewelry, matter of fact. So now I'm working on the background to give everything in the background a little more definition before I merge everything down. So I'm just giving the couch a shadow. I'm going to give the plant a shadow. I think I already gave the plant a shadow. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm just giving everything shadows, just defining everything before I merge everything together. Just doing her shadow. I didn't want the shadow to be too crazy because she's in front of a window, but I did want to give her just give the picture that I also go underneath the shadow with a black airbrush and go under the shoes, so the shoes are actually, so they look like they're actually on the ground. Now I'm just pulling in some jewelry just to get the picture, just to give her outfit a little more, you know, pizzazz. Let's say pizzazz. But I pull in this cute ring. Excuse Mary, she texted me. But I pull in this bracelet, and then I pull in, what else I pull in? I pull in a chain, like a Cuban link chain, and then I pull in a Dior bracelet that I used in a prior edit. Now this is the final touch. I'm adding in a overlay layer, and I think I'll make this layer add a lighting layer and I'll make it transparent. I'm not sure, but yes, this is me pulling in the layer. I had to figure out what layer type I wanted it to be, and I came up with, I think I used add, I'm not sure, but it came out really cute. I really love it. Oh my god, it's so cute. So this is the finished picture. Thank you guys so much if you made it all the way to the end. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the photo, and happy New Year's. I'll see you guys in the next video next year. Bye.